Okay, guys, we're live. Welcome to Broadish Show. I'm Felicia Madison. We have with us Jocelyn Chia, Hollie Harper, and our special guest this week, Janell Banks. Welcome.
Yes.
Started right away. We'd like to get right into the meat of the topic here. So here we are. Alexei Navalny, or as we like to call him, Navalny Poison Pants. Yes, the Russian opposition leader was sentenced to prison. Yeah, he was sentenced because he didn't show up for his probation. He was supposed to show up, and he was like, excuse me, I couldn't because I was in a coma.
Oh my God.
Because he was poisoned by Putin. They put some kind of nerve block in his underpants. I don't know how they got into his underpants. That's just some crazy shit.
That just sounds so mean. Like that, it's just like if you're gonna get hurt, just get hurt. Don't get hurt by the private parts. You know what I mean? Like that's just another level of evil. You know what I mean? Just shoot in the chest. Do a like chloroform brag. Don't like in the pants. Like I just think that's cold blooded. Yes, that is below the belt. Oh, why did I just realize why it's called below the belt? I don't know why I never realized that. I just now realized that's because it's rapey. I never knew that.
See what you did there.
No one's talking about why or how. That was a good point, Jocelyn, how they got into his underpants. Maybe he was doing some hanky-panky.
Yeah, they probably got some sexy Russian woman to seduce him and be like, you wear these underpants forever.
Exactly. Girl, he probably sends his laundry out and they just put it in his drawers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, probably like the woman folding his clothes. They paid this woman off a couple hundred, whatever their denomination is, and then like just put it in his drawers. They put it in his tighty whities.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's not going to jail in Russia, right? Where is he going?
He's going to a penal colony. So a penal colony is kind of like how when Britain would send their convicts to Australia, they have a whole colony to send their prisoners to. So they don't know exactly where, but it's going to be some far flung away place, not even on mainland Russia.
That just sounds so like Romeo and Juliet. Like that was
it sounds very cute. It sounds super cute, my lord.
Yeah. My lord.
Penal colony.
And it was like, I want to go to a penal colony.
Yeah, where the penal at? Right. Where the vacation reside?
I don't know. Why did he go back? I
don't think he has the right. I guess he could have applied for asylum, but I think he just wants to say, he just wants to oust Putin. He wants to get Putin out, and he actually used YouTube to build his following to get protesters out into protesting Putin's regime. And you know how Trump got banned from Facebook and Twitter, but he's not banned on YouTube? So what if Trump fucking uses YouTube to make a comeback with another insurrection?
And then we could just put him in a penal colony. Because we know how homophobic he is. That would be like hell for him.
That would be right up his alley.
Go to a penal colony in Wyoming.
I don't know. Like somebody told me that Trump was banned from Pinterest. I was like, that's like getting banned from Applebee's. Like, how will you get banned?
Because I was dying to see his outfit of the day, so I am a little triggered by this.
Whose outfit of the day? Trump's?
All these tech companies, all these social media companies are just coming on the bandwagon to ban Trump. You know, like Zoom is banning him.
And I'm like, good. And everyone's like, what about? Like, I feel like we're just too well-meaning of a people. Like, he was just a straight jerk. He canceled everybody for 4 years. He canceled 440,000 lives. But now we're like, are we really going too far? What about our rights? I'm like, F him.
Right.
F him. Like, ban him from Chili's. Ban him from Wawa. Ban him from Target. Like, just ban him from oxygen. Make him borrow oxygen. Like, we could ban him from anything. I really would not care.
Deplorables don't shop at Target, so that's good. He's already banned himself.
That's true. Where do deplorables shop? Is that Walmart? That's a Walmart thing?
Mm-hmm. That's a Walmart corner store type of situation.
I don't know. Well, I was reading how the United States doesn't even really care anymore about Russia. They're sending the message, you're just not that important. We care about China now, so do what you want, Putin. We don't care.
Where like Russia's like, the way y'all are Russia now that we got Trump out, we're like, look, that's a family problem. That's a family conversation. This is not really our problem. I have to admit, I don't really care what Russia does right now. Like, I really don't. Like, I've heard about them so much these past 4 years. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I don't want to hear about them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But their problems. I mean, I'll laugh at their problems, but I'm not trying to be like, oh no.
Let's move on to our next topic. Sex ed. Are we still teaching this? People seem to have a problem that we're teaching sex ed to our kids. And I feel like now more than ever, we need it, right?
Yes,
Mhm.
I mean, and let me bring this up because, okay, I was on this Zoom with a bunch of women, a lot of female comics. It was so much fun. And we were talking about different topics and stuff. And then I brought up like how my daughter's sex ed class is like really amazing, right? When she's in 9th grade now, but they started when she was in 5th grade, like middle school. And I was like, and the people on the Zoom were like, oh, I don't know, maybe we shouldn't be, I don't know why they're teaching sex ed. And I was thinking to myself, you guys have no idea how progressive and how far ahead they are in their sex ed. I started thinking maybe they should be teaching us sex ed because, like I have a 14-year-old and I have an 8-year-old. And so all of a sudden with the 8-year-old, I realized that, wow, we really don't like talk about anything. So I bought some sex ed books for like 8 to 18. And I realized there are terms that I'm like, yeah, I know, but a lot of terms I'm like, I really don't know. Like, I really don't know. Like, I was going through and I was like, okay, yeah, we know homosexual, heterosexual, bisexual, but then we're like,
quiz. Give us a quiz. Let's see if we can figure it out.
I know. I'm like,
okay,
what
but
are
then
these
it was
terms?
but then it was like demisexual.
When you wear denim and you dry hump in the jeans, right?
Stop it. No, it's like a word to describe someone who doesn't feel sexual attraction unless some kind of emotional bond is formed first. That's what your mother wants you to feel. That's what your mama wants you.
No, that means like married couples.
I guess. This sounds like 1950s couples. Then there's like
right.
okay,
That's a clinger.
like we know cisgender. We all know what the term cisgender means, right? But a lot of people were like in the chat, they were like, cisgender? What is like they didn't know what that meant. Yeah, and I'm like cisgender, cisgender according to like a word for people who feel like their gender identity matches the sex they were assigned at birth. But then it was terms like gynosexual.
That's when you can only have sex with your gynecologist.
Right? Is that what that is?
No, and you catch a freebie. No, it was like being only or mostly attracted to femininity.
Oh, I'm a gynosexual then.
I know. I'm like, are these like overlapping words? Like, okay, if you're, you know what I mean? Like, we're just finding like overlapping terms.
If you're a woman and you meet a male that's very feminine, that could be gynosexual, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what the point is?
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Look at your nose finger. I guess. I mean, maybe that's what it mean, but I was just like gynosexual. Then there's pansexual.
Yeah, that's people that like to have sex in Williams-Sonoma.
Stop
Absolutely.
it.
Or IKEA.
I know. And then it was just like I explained to my father heteronormativity. Like, is my father, my dad and I, we were somewhere and he saw a movie poster and it was for like some kind of Superman kind of stories a couple years ago. And someone wrote across it like, fuck your heteronormativity. And my dad was like, what does that mean? I don't know what that means. And I was like, Dad, that's when you present heterosexuality as the norm. So like when people constantly put out romantic comedies and it's only male, female couples, that's heteronormativity. When you see Christmas cards and it's just like a heterosexual, like a man, woman, and like the 2 kids, that's heteronormativity. So I was thinking like, these kids could be teaching us the class. Like maybe we should be learning from them.
All those words make me thirsty though. Like that's really all they do. I'm gonna take a drink because I don't know if that, what that identifies me as, drinking from a plastic cup, but
She's an aquasexual.
So is the bottom line that we were just, when we were growing up, just completely sexually repressed or stifled?
I think so, because I'll never forget, like they sent home this, my child walking through the background, they sent home the syllabus for us to like look at, and I'll never forget, there was a whole chapter on consent. And like, no one even mentioned consent to me till I was about 30. Like I was like maybe 30 years old.
No. I had to find that out from Netflix.
Netflix, you heard about consent from Netflix. What about you, Jocelyn? When did you start hearing about consent? Like when was that the buzzword?
During the Me Too movement.
It was like consent. So like they really spent like a whole chapter on consent. And I was just like, where was this when I was growing up? Like, where was this? Like, and it was a quiz, like a consent quiz. Do you have consent?
Right.
This happens, do you have consent? This happens, do
Wow.
you have consent? And I was like, taking the quiz, and I was like, oh my God, I hope I pass this test. Like,
Right?
this consent
It's
test.
crazy. I mean, like when I was growing up, I think there was maybe one gay guy in my class, and he wasn't even like out gay. We just kind of like all knew he was gay because he, you know, he's into drama, and it wasn't spoken. But I mean, now it's like it's amazing. I just, you know, I say when I have grandkids, they're going to be saying there's this, you know, new type of sexuality. It's like monogamous heterosexuals.
And they're gonna be like,
Yeah, we're going to be the minority.
It's so cool. I mean, we just used to have jocks and nerds, and now we have Geno Aquahera sexual buying beings, you know, whatever. Like, put all those words in there, scrabble it up. I love it.
Well, I
I
went
think
to
it's
an all-girls
amazing.
Catholic high school, so it was lesbianism was actually the norm in my school.
Oh. I just remember when I was in boarding school, there were girls that were couples, but like only people in the dorm knew. You know what I mean? Like, and then when parents would come for parent weekend, all of a sudden it was like, this is my friend. You know what I mean? It wasn't like,
Right.
you know, like my chummy friend. But yeah, I just remember like looking at like, I remember sex education when I was growing up, and it was really bad. It was, and then you would hear like really horrible, you know, things around me too. Like they'd be like, only thing open after midnight are legs. You know what I mean? I just be like, you know.
I was taught sex ed by a very attractive man, and so it was a very weird space for me. Because I was like, I'm not really listening to the lesson. I'm looking at coach because they had like a coach, like our gym teacher teach it to us, and he was also kind of known as the guy that would like look at your butt. So I'm like, oh, he's teaching me about sex and looking at my parts. Yes.
Yeah,
Consent though, consent.
Yeah, you can't really have a hot teacher for anything because you're not going to learn.
Yeah.
I took tennis a whole summer from a hot coach. I don't know anything. Like, I don't know what happened.
He just out there talking about bump that
Ugly
spike.
teachers.
My sex ed was from reading from a comic book, but I thought that sex was just like the two private parts rubbing against one another. I didn't know there was penetration. When I first heard about penetration, I was like, what goes into my what?
No, that still is sex, Jocelyn. If you're a lesbian, that's good sex.
Hey.
That's being heteronormative right there.
Friction, yeah.
I'm still waiting for my sex ed class.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a new frontier. Them teaching us a sex ed. I think that'd be, to tell you the honest truth, I think that'd be a funny show.
Yeah,
So
well,
that
you
means
know,
we're all reborn virgins, right?
wait till your teenage daughter starts having boyfriends and you realize she's having better and more sex than you are.
Oh, I know it's coming because we all grow up, but I'm like, ooh.
It's like, jealous much, Mom?
Just come open a can of biscuits. It feels the same, Mom.
Okay, our next topic is getting vaccinations. They finally have all these vaccinations coming up, and I have to say, it's just, I don't know if you've been trying to get it, but I was trying to get it for my mom, who pointed out to me, she said, you know, the only people that she knows of her friends that have gotten vaccinated are the ones that have daughters. Yeah. Which I thought was funny at first. And then I realized like she wasn't being vaccinated, so it was a dig at me that I wasn't.
Yeah, that was shade. That was mama shade.
Yeah,
mama
the shade she threw.
But I went all for it. I took on the challenge, and within 3 days, I got her an appointment to be vaccinated. But I got to tell you, it was horrifically hard, so not fair. The system for the elderly is just terrible because they all need to get onto the internet. And if you've, all I could say is, I want to have all these people that thought this was going to work for the elderly try to get my mom onto one of their Zooms, and they'll be pulling their hair out so fast.
Oh my gosh.
It's impossible. And there's also just one more thing. There's a controversy because Stacey Griffith, who is the celebrity Soul Cycle instructor, just got in trouble because she posted on Instagram that she got a COVID shot because she was a teacher.
She teaches Soul Cycle.
Yeah.
girl, that's not a necessity. Like, that's cute and all, but like, I took Soul Cycle one time and I was like, this is not a necessity in life. This is, I just, what
It's
is it,
not
like $30
essential.
or something, like in one class? I remember just being like, this is, first of all, it's a cult. You teach a cult. Like, I mean, it's a fit cult, but it's a cult. But like, she was really bragging about that. And I heard that she's like now apologized, but it's like, why is this chick getting a COVID vaccine before like older people and people with diabetes and people with cancer?
No one should have trusted her based on her hairstyle. And that's just where I'm at. Like, all that bleach, nah, turn around, ma'am. I'm not poking you.
There were some celebrities posting to try to help people. Like there was one on the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and some, I think it was Arnold Schwarzenegger. They got it because they were trying. A lot of people from communities, actually underprivileged communities, were not sure if they wanted to take it. They were uncertain, so they were trying to encourage people. Like, look at me, I could do this. So can you. But I don't think she really falls into that category because all the people she would incentivize would be like rich white people doing Soul Cycle.
Yeah, like she's a Soul Cycle. She's a cult leader who yells on a mic, you know what I mean, and has a good mixtape playing.
Yeah.
1 hour while the room looks like there's stars in the ceiling. You know what I mean? It's just like, girl, come on.
But Holly, there was an article just in the New York Times today from a clinic who said that he was serving a community and he usually had all Black people come to his clinic. And once they started offering the vaccine, he noticed that all of a sudden all his patients were white.
Yeah, that's what happened in my
Uh-huh.
Heights. I used to live in Washington Heights for about 7-8 years. And, that's like Black and Latinos, Black and Dominican, a little bit of splashes Puerto Rican. And all of a sudden there was this mad white folks in the area, like in these clinics, who all of a sudden were like, yeah, I get the vaccine. And it's offensive. It's just like, you're not here for any other reason but to get in line in front of us and bring Chloe and Karen and Donna to get a vaccine. It's just like, come on now. Like, I don't like that.
All that Run DMC Ted listened to is paying off. All that hip hop, all that hip hop, a hippie. He's like, yo, what up? Can I get the vaccine, B?
Like, they really are. And I'm like, okay, I get it. People are desperate for the vaccine, but like, people need to be kind of checked. Like, is it really your time?
Well, the honor system there, the honor code used to work, not anymore.
Yeah, there's no honor code.
Not everybody's AARP members.
Well,
right?
The problem was, if you were a healthcare worker, you got to go first of all. You didn't have to show proof that you were a healthcare worker. So you could just literally sign up and say, I'm a healthcare worker and get it.
Oh, wow.
And then like hospitals were getting it and people that worked in the PR department were getting the shots who weren't even like in the hospital because they were part of the hospital. So there was so much corruption. And all I could say and all I could think about is, the government is running this, and these are the people that everyone is fighting to run our healthcare system in general. Okay, can you imagine like if they were running it and and this is what happens in Canada, you need a test and for breast cancer and you can't get it.
Yeah, but like also COVID is new. You know what I mean? So like this is our first time at the COVID rodeo, so we don't really know. You know what I mean? Like I just gotta feel like. No, we should have universal health care. We should absolutely, it should be run well, but like we just had like a shit show for 4 years, and this past year has just been like, marked for death. It's starring Donald Trump. So it's kind of like, this is all new to us. So, they need time. I mean, it's only been like what, 12? It's been 12 days since Biden and Kamala. It's been 12 days. So I kind of feel like, yeah, it sucks right now, but give it time. You know what I mean? Like we need to get through this.
Let's see how they do. Well, what's interesting also is you look below, when I was signing up for it, it really was such a shit show. And I have to just do a shout out to like, there was a COVID Facebook group that was just a lifesaver. And there were people posting on it. Like it was heartbreaking. Like my father has cancer and he needs to get it. I can't get him an appointment. And people volunteer to help people get appointments. And I got an appointment for my mom because of a volunteer, a random stranger got her an appointment, because they literally have to sit at your computer and just keep typing in and typing in and typing in, and you have to get it at the right moment. So I was signing up, and it asks for your like race. And so I got that run.
You got that right?
I got that right. And then it asks for your ethnicity. And like I had to just read it a couple of times, because it was like it asks if you're Latino, Hispanic, or not Latino and Hispanic. And I'm like, well, or other, or you don't want to say. And I was just like curious as to why they needed that. I guess because Latino Hispanics could be any race. And why do they want to know if you're Latino or Hispanic?
Yeah. Do they want to know if you eat enchiladas too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I've
because
always wondered that.
Well, because Black and brown people were disproportionately affected by COVID. So they want to know, like, are you like white lady, blonde Cuban, or are you like Dominican? You know what I mean? Like they want to know, like, how hard of a blowout are you getting? Like basically just want to know.
How many Selena lyrics do you really know?
How many Selena lyrics do you really know?
But there's a lot of ethnicities, but the only one they really cared about was the Latin Hispanic one.
Yeah, because of who's been disproportionately affected in this country. So they're like really trying to be like, look, let's weed it down to like the smallest categories and get them, you know, on first.
But that's like a common question on any application I've seen when they ask your race or ethnicity. Like, and that I'm like, is this a trick question you're asking me if I am, but if I'm not, but I feel like if I didn't check this box, and that means that I'm not, right?
Yeah.
So what's all these extra circles for? You're killing me.
Then that means Hispanics, their race is white.
Girl, see, that's the thing, girl. Yeah, because like
that is very common where there are some culture or people from the Latino or Spanish culture who identify as white Hispanic, and I've never heard that.
Yeah, like I never forget one time I called somebody Latino, and they're like, "I'm not Latino, I'm Hispanic," and I was like, "Oh, I'm really sorry," because I was told that I was wrong to call them Hispanic, so I was like, "Okay, you're Latino." And they checked me hard. So I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to say nothing until you say it first. Yeah, I'm going to let you say it, and then I'll fall in line.
What's your pronoun, boo?
Word, like I'm not being caught out there again like that. It was already
which was also on the application. They had which is on all applications now also, which is, do you identify, were you born or identified as you were born? Getting back to your sex thing, like your sex and what sex you identify with is also on the application.
Well, so I met a girl whose pronoun was she, they. I was like, wait, isn't that confusing? Like one or the other. You don't get to be a she in certain sentences, and then now I have to call you they. Like it's either she, her, or they. What's the other one?
Like you don't get the whole category, boo. No. You know what I mean? Like
don't be greedy.
Jocelyn, she's a she when she's on a dinner date. So she
when the check comes, she's a she. Well, I mean. Back 150 years ago, I've been married for 22 years. Back 150 years ago, when I was dating, I remember it was sort of like, if you ask me out, I'm not expecting to pay for the check. Nope. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. But I will pay the tip. I will pay the tip. And I would always offer really strongly for the tip.
You would have had a lot more dates if people knew you were taking the tip.
God, man.
Yeah. We're going to move on, guys. I love this topic. Adult show and tell. Social media has just become so ridiculous. I watch TikTok and now everyone is a comedian. Everyone is like showing, everyone's telling us it's enough already.
I haven't been on TikTok yet. I haven't been on because my daughter's on it so much. I kind of feel like I could just look over her shoulder and be on TikTok.
Well, now it comes to you because you can share it. So it doesn't, you don't even have to be on TikTok now. You're going to see it on TikTok.
Right. Trying to get me to be more active on TikTok and all this stuff. I was like, everyone's doing it. I don't know how much value add I'm really doing, showing my little dance moves on TikTok.
Well, like for me, it's like, okay, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, fine. Then like TikTok, okay, Clubhouse. All right, you know what I mean? And then there's like the right wing one, like Parler. You know what I mean? And part of me wants to be on Parler just to see these people talk, like, see their plans.
Because I sure would be calling 911.
Well, I can't keep up with all of this. I mean, it's a full-time job.
It is a full-time job, yeah.
It is. That's why it's the adult show and tell, because it's like I'm the multitasking of the multitasker. Like, look what I can do. Like, I can manage a household and give you recipes and do a silhouette challenge. Like, oh my gosh, like it's a lot. It's intense. Like, I am trying to figure out how people have this much time. Because then when you think about like the editing, the behind the scenes
Yes.
of this footage, like it's
Yes.
I've done a TikTok and that's like an hour or 2 hours of editing a 30-second clip. Like, I don't want to do that voluntarily. I just don't.
Yeah, I mean, some of these,
I-
like, you're right. There's like a lot of there's a lot of filmmaking that goes into a lot of these TikToks. Like, it's really insane.
You're essentially Spike Lee.
It's too visual for me, and it's like too, it's not fair because men have such an advantage because it's so much work. I have to put up my hair and my makeup. I have to make sure I look good. And you know why I really can't do it? Because I'm doing it myself, and I can't get far enough from the camera that I look good and still touch the buttons. It's like,
Well, you know what like kills me, and it's like, look at me, I'm like Instagram, right? But like I fell into, I don't know if you guys have ever fallen into one of those rabbit holes, like those cute baby rabbit holes. But like basically those women, and they're always down south, and usually Black, and they have like the cutest toddlers, and they dress them up in these cutest little outfits. You ever seen those?
Yes,
Mhm.
yes,
Like
yes.
40, 50,000 views and likes, and but it's like a whole outfit, and then a baby will just blow that thing out in like 3 seconds, you know? Now, but it's like real, like they're womb fire babies. It's the cutest lips in the face and the cheeks. But like real photo shoots for these 18-month-old kids.
yeah.
That's the whole part of the show and tell. Like I'm gonna out baby your baby. Like my kids' cheeks are cuter than your cheeks in these paisley puff outfits. Like, which I hate some of these outfits. I'm like,
And then some of the grown-ass women will come in with their butt cheeks. Yeah, my butt cheeks cuter than your baby's cheeks.
Yes. Yes, the butt cheeks. Yeah. And I'm always thinking about stuff like my kids ran around in a onesie all day. They just ran around these 4 walls in a onesie, and I took a million photos, but they were just onesie photos. Like they weren't like, a beret. Like they have like a beret.
The accessories, accessories. Like, what does she need a purse for? And
thank you.
Just, oh my gosh, that's what blows my. I just think about the budget that goes into these things. Like, what is this? I mean, I know, and children's clothes are fairly, they're affordable, but it's just like, seriously, and the matching outfit thing is kind of creepy to me.
You know what's interesting? So when I look at my pictures of my mother's generation, they're all like the black and white pictures. Everyone, like if social media were around then, it would be so depressing because they didn't smile back then. They're all black, they all stood there like you couldn't smile. I don't know why. There was a theory behind why they didn't smile, but my generation, there's like a little bit of pictures. I have some like teared, and I love to look back at them, and I wonder what this generation right now is posting all this social media. When they become parents and their kids are looking at the pictures, what are they going to think?
It's kind of starting to happen.
Because I already don't post as many pictures of my daughter anymore because she's a teenager now. So I don't, you know what I mean? Like I don't tell everything. I don't post everything anymore because she's like a person. I mean, she's a person, but you know what I'm saying? She's like a real person now. But I mean, literally I have about 3 pictures of me under 6. Like I've only seen 1 baby photo of myself ever. I've only seen 1 photo of myself under 1. And it was at my grandmother's. And when she passed, that photo was gone. Somebody snatched it. You know, when all people die, everybody just comes in and just snatches everything. So there are literally like 5 pictures of me like under 6 years old. There's really not many. So
Social media thing is really creating stars though. Like Hollywood is chasing down the social media stars hard. Zarna Garg, who was our guest last week, is being chased by Hollywood. Sarah Cooper, of course. So I guess that's why everyone's jumping in this bandwagon in case you're the 1 out of 10 million who makes it.
Right.
Well, I mean, my son and his 2 little homies, he's like, me and these for the women, we were all pregnant at the same time with our second babies. So we just kind of raised them together. They got a gig, they got a Sesame Street gig off of Facebook photos. Like my kids have gotten gigs off of Facebook and Instagram photos. And I'm like,
I guess that's why my agent wants me to be on it.
yeah, that is why. That is why.
It is. I mean, it is the new wave of entertainment. So I mean, I get it. I mean, and that's how people are casting now. So
Yeah.
it's very important to have that social media presence. But I remember like 5 years ago, we were like, don't put your kids on social media. You just don't know. They're gonna get taken. And now
know,
we're like,
I hate
put
that.
the baby on the camera now.
Yes.
Get it.
Man, those people are like, I don't put my kids on social media because they could be trafficked. I'm like, people don't want their own damn kids. You think they want your kids? Like, they don't want your kids. They don't want your kids.
My kids on social media, so maybe someone will take them.
Right.
Like,
Come get
I want to
it now.
take it.
Here, come get her.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's crazy, but it's true, Jocelyn. It's like a new form of stardom. People are getting discovered, and all these people on social media now that are doing comedy, they're people are scouting for comedians. They're going on stand up, and they have never done a minute of stand up in their life.
Yeah, which to me, it's like, man, you could tell right away when someone doesn't know stand up. Like I could just, we're all comedians. We could tell right away.
They start asking for subject content. They're like, so what do y'all want to talk about? Like, this is not an interview. It's on you, buddy.
Yeah. This is all you. This is all you.
The last time I saw this girl who apparently who was very nude, she came on and she was apologizing for like a minute. I'm sorry. I thought maybe that was her shtick. Like maybe she was doing some shtick. No, she really was just apologizing for a minute.
Oh my gosh.
That filled in that 1 minute and 5 minute set. Yeah, that's good.
Oh, really? Oh my God.
Oh my God, it was a 10-minute set. Oh my, that means that's why she apologized. Like,
what do you think is going to be next? I mean, I feel like there's going to be the next big thing. I know Clubhouse is like really big now, but I can't.
Clubhouse is huge.
That one is just audio. What's so exciting about just hearing voices?
Well, I mean, go ahead.
It's like a glorified lecture. Like, it reminds me of sitting in a lecture hall. Like, I mean, I get very, very valuable information, but it does make me feel like I'm back in college again, trying to absorb information.
Well, it's really funny, and I agree with you, because I mean, I've only been on Clubhouse like once or twice, but I get the notifications, and I get the notifications for like the same 25 people always on Clubhouse. I'm like, like one of them is Lakeith Stanfield, that actor. You know what I mean? That actor Lakeith Stanfield. He was in Atlanta and all these other movies. I'm like, he really loves him some Clubhouse, because like, I get notifications of him but there are people. I was reading people getting gigs off of Clubhouse.
I guess I mean, people are trying to open comedy rooms on Clubhouse. There's so many different dynamics. Like, people are recruiting for companies. Like, I've heard of a lot of things in these rooms. So I guess it is, but it almost reminds me of like Mean Girls. It's the new, like, you can't sit with us, Gretchen. Like, you have to have so many, it almost reminds me of when Twitter first came out, and you just had to have so much credibility and clout and followers or retweets for you to seem like a valid person. So I think Clubhouse is like Twitter 4.0 optimized, dial up.
Yeah, maybe they could be like a new social media app called Outside, where you just kind of get outside and you talk to people in the air under the sun. And that's an app. That's an app.
Or drugs.
It's an app called Drugs.
On that note, we're gonna close out the show, guys. Thank you so much. This is Broadish. I'm Felicia Madison.
I'm Hollie Harper. Oh, I messed it up. I'm sorry. Let's do it again. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Just don't apologize for a whole minute.
Okay.
I'm going to go around. I'm Felicia Madison. We have Jocelyn Chia, Hollie Harper, and Janell Banks, and this is Broadish.